Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman 1 million. Batman 1 million, DC 1 million. I love the packaging from this company. Anyway, this is another cool Batman, is basically the best way to describe it. I don't know how many people are super into this version of Batman. I don't know that much about it from the comics. I just know it exists and it looks cool. And basically the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line has, for me, become a who's who of Batman costumes, which are sometimes good enough to actually collect and sometimes not. We'll see if this is one of them. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. Standard McFarlane packaging. It looks pretty good, no complaints. The black, white, blue thing is nice. They are uniform for the most part, so that's good. Some artwork on the back. There's multiple versions of this guy's suit. The figure that they made is not this one. Why'd they use this picture? There are ones where the belt goes all the way across. This is cool looking. It looks futuristic. I would have preferred this, but they could have picked any image. They chose that one. Freaking weird. But it doesn't really matter because I'm guessing most people throw the packaging away. Let's talk about the figure. This guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. He stands to the top of his head about 19.2 centimeters, not counting the ears, and that's going to be just about 7 and I don't know, 5/8, give or take. He's way bigger than Darwin because they are not in the same scale, but he is even a little bit bigger than some of the other guys. Should he be bigger than Superman? Maybe he's not. Yeah, he's a little bit taller than Superman. Depending on how you have him posed, he's got just a touch more height. That's interesting. So he's a little bit bigger. But he looks pretty cool. Let's do a question of the day. Are you guys just collecting all the cool looks of Batman at this point? Or are you still trying to fill out teams? Like, what is your take on this line from Todd? It's such a strange thing. Okay, so he's matte black, or almost flat black, which looks really, really cool. Up against the metallic blue up here, the gold, the regular blue. It's a pretty cool looking figure. I don't think that they did everything correctly, though. Now, this is a version of the suit. Like I said, the suit on the box doesn't match the figure, but this is a reasonably enough accurate version of this Batman, and that's fine. I think the star of the show is right here. Well, it's really two things. It's that right there. That bust looks pretty darn cool, especially if you ignore this part right here. The head sculpt is really nice. The shoulder pads are cool. The metallic and non-metallic combo, that's really cool. And then the matte black or flat black really makes this figure pop. Now the downside is his chest doesn't match the rest of his body. He's got really beefy legs. His arms are fairly thick, but they've gave him this really narrow and poorly defined chest. Like, you don't even see a difference from pec to pec. It's just smooth. I don't know if you can. I have to try to brighten this up a little bit. I don't want to blind everybody, but I have to make it bright on this. See, there's no crease between the pecs. Pecs should be broader and much meatier. And then the only part of the suit that really has wrinkles is the abdomen, because they've been reusing that same part over and over again. Like, you have a couple little ones here, but this is the only spot, so that does make it look weird also. So that's a problem. The torso kind of sucks. If you could put a different torso on this guy, which would be hard to do because of this and the cowl, you could make it look pretty darn cool. As it is, though, it still looks pretty nice. Like, it has an overall nice silhouette, especially because of those big shoulder pads. But yeah, it looks nice enough. He still has goofy little curvy feet, little weird curvy feet. I'm thinking these are the same hands as that one. I can't think of what it's called. He's got like the black and gray suit. He's no cape and he has like red lines on him. I can't think of what he's called right now, but I'm pretty sure these are reused hands from that. But still, pretty cool. They're still using the Barbie material. Luckily, this guy has the metallic shoulder pads, so I kind of am okay with it. It looks alright, but it still sucks as a material. It creases, it doesn't flow, it doesn't hang naturally at all. The wiring helps, of course, so at least for dynamic poses it'll look okay. But I don't like that material, and it's not that metallic or good looking on the inside. So there are some downsides, but definitely a pretty cool looking Batman, one of the cooler ones that they've released. And so I'm happy to add it. But as an aesthetic rating, I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Definitely room for improvement, but it still sets itself apart in a pretty good way. Now, as far as accessories go, hold on to your butts, because we have one fist hand, one gripping hand, and that's it for hands. What the heck? I thought we were past this. We do get 2 batarangs that are questionably accurate. Not really, though, based on most images, and maybe he's got some that look like this in this suit, but I don't think so. At least the one when I googled it, because I wanted to check, because these are definitely reused batarangs. I don't think they're accurate to this suit, but it's probably not a real big deal for most people. The artwork, which doesn't match the figure on the card. I'm sorry. The artwork on the card, which doesn't match the figure, and then the crappy DC display stand. I'm going to just take some spite points away and say 0 out of 10 for accessories. That's not good enough, Todd. Okay, moving on to the articulation. The head is on a double ball peg. Not going to get the best range out of this guy, but it does pose, so that's alright. Mine's got some kind of situation going on the neck right there. Some kind of plastic issue. I don't know. Don't like that. It's not the best double ball peg they've done, but it will work, and you can still put them in some cooler poses that you couldn't otherwise do. Double ball peg's the way to go for sure. Shoulder pads are connected to the torso, and they don't really flex that much, so you already don't get any range out of that internal ball peg, so you really just have the ball hinge, which works well enough. You can still get up to horizontal, or a little better, and you can bring them forward, but the shoulder pads do not get out of the way, so you're going to have limitations in posing. Now, before we move on to the rest of the arms, I want to mention the cape can come pretty far forward, but not really enough to drape over the shoulder. It's like halfway, so that's a problem. And you can see already, this damn material is just so frustrating. The best thing you could do, I think, is fold it in, kind of like that. And then even if you wanted to put like some two-sided tape on there on the inside to hold it together, that would give you a better experience with this figure for sure, because it's so annoying. But honestly, in this case, I do like the metallic. But yeah, it's wired nicely just along the two edges, not along the back or the spines at all. And it does move around a little bit in here to give you some options. So it's kind of cool. Bicep swivel on this guy. It's alright. I think these might be updated arms, or at least arms that didn't go on a Batman before. They look pretty thick. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, if they've been reused. I'm guessing they have. But I like them. I like that they're a little meatier. Decent range in the elbow. Not the best look, though. Wrists have ball hinges, so they have plenty of range. Torso on this guy. Leans back okay. Gets gappy, but it does lean. And then going forward, barely anything. Side to side is okay, but still kind of gappy. And you're going to get your rotation. For the hips, the splits are an option. That's alright. That works pretty well. No complaints. And going forward, the trunks do get in the way. It's not the best situation. You're going to have to trim them or really stretch them to get dynamic posing out of that. Legs go back a little bit. That's alright. Thigh swivel does work a little bit better than normal, so that's alright. A little bit of floppiness in between the ratchets, though, for the hip. Alright, for the knees, yeah, ugly, but functional. Proportioning is definitely not great. Typical Todd McFarlane legs. Ankles give you plenty of range, but they're heavily ratcheted, so that sucks. Ankle rocker is acceptable. Toe hinge is acceptable. These little goofy feet suck. They're a bad sculpt and they don't work that well. So, his articulation, not great. 7 out of 10. It'll pose enough to look cool enough on a shelf, but not to be a whole lot of fun to handle, and you're not going to want to pick it up a whole bunch. It's not one of those figures. But it will be good enough, I think, given that the rest of the figure looks pretty darn cool. And for me, that's enough. For you, you'll have to decide. I'm going to give it an overall rating of... Honestly, it's like a 7 out of 10. It looks cool. Like, the design is cool. It helps the figure seem better than it is, for sure. The matte black does help a lot with the metallic blue. Like, there are some things on this figure that are just great. But the rest of the figure is still just another very average, mediocre, not impressive Todd McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman figure. So, you guys know what you're getting at this point. After you've seen the review, you know exactly what to expect. If you're into this line, you're probably going to be into this. If you're not into this line, this will not win you over, but it is still kind of cool for a Batman. Maybe you're buying it just to rip these shoulder pads and head off, and the cape maybe, and to plunk it on another figure. Have fun. Do it. They're cool. Those are the best parts. We don't get a lot of cool cowled Batman heads. Actually, we don't get any good Batman heads. We've had like 3 probably across this whole line. This is a good one. But it is a very specific one, so who knows? I don't know. That's enough for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.